Our news are like all humans, some are big, some are small, all are important. Greetings rOmies and welcome to rOM.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and to a regular news roundup. Welcome to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. If you have any news for us, send us a mail to news@rOM.net. This week started quiet, then came rFactor news, then more, then this and that, and then boom, Automobilista 2 big news. But don't skip the short news, there's some interesting stuff there too. Studio 397 this week announced a soon release of two very iconic British racetracks, one of them being the wonderfully difficult Donington Park, the other the no less difficult but better known Brands Hatch. Both have been laser scanned and are scheduled to be part of rFactor2 in the next weeks. Brands Hatch release got a more detailed schedule of 2022 Q2 May content drop. That's a mouthful. Another thing both tracks have in common is being part of the BTCC schedule. And yeah, on Friday, Studio 397 let it be known that they were releasing the first two BTCC 2021-22 cars, also in the May drop. Nope, I'm not saying that long thing again. The Infiniti Q50 and the Toyota Corolla GR. Studio 397 stating they are first of several BTCC machines set to appear in rFactor2 over the coming months. We've done a quick chat and we're still missing Snetterton, Alton Park and Knockhill from the list of BTCC 2021 tracks, but we would not be surprised if the next news coming from Studio 397 mentioned them. We're clairvoyant like that. All of this brings us to speculate that the cars and tracks had been scanned for the BTCC sim that Motorsport Games dropped from their schedule and that we may never see, as no new date for the BTCC sim has been announced. And we wonder, like everyone else in the sim racing world, if it will ever be released by Motorsport Games. On the other hand, it makes clear that they have not lost the license yet. Keeping with rFactor2, Studio 397 released an update this week, fixing the AI not having fuel sometimes, adding Moza control profiles and improving real roll update rates, which means that wet surfaces are going to be updated more often and that every property of a track will update by itself, like the aforementioned wetness or the marbles aka pickup or other properties. They've also done extensive work on sparks, some cleansing brushes on the UI and rebalanced onboard effects. Now I know why the IndyCar has been kinda undrivable the last couple of times. I'll have to reduce the FX settings. A different point that has not much to do with rFactor2 was the note the makers of Crankshaft issued this week, assuring they were still working on Crankshaft and especially the multiplayer mode, so Motorsport Games are very aware of the musings and mumblings of the sim racing community. They just choose to continue avoiding the press. While they are working on supporting championship scoring from within their app, the team of Just Race released a Google Sheet for free for everyone who's running a championship and needs some help in that regard. Follow the link in our description to get to the Google Sheet, make yourself a copy and go ahead with tallying the scores of your championship. Yeah, the Just Race people are that nice. A teeny tiny hotfix came out this week for Assetto Corsa Competizione with some new liveries and correcting an HUD issue with the engine map display and the engine map UI labels. If your Steam client doesn't show it to you, just restart it. After the sad demise of the DTM, I'd very subjectively say that the WTCR is the better touring championship out there. Yes, I know DTM is still around as a GT3 championship. Yes, I know there's the SRO out there with the official sim Assetto Corsa Competizione delivered by Cunha. Still, there's something special in these front-wheel driven cars. Maybe it's exactly the FWD that makes them something different, something special. And I'll never forget that for some reason, for a couple of years, diesel-driven Seats were winning everything, which is bonkers. All this to say that the cars that made up the 2021 WTCR season can be bought as a pack in Raceroom. They are on sale right now at the, in our opinion, very steep price of €23.5 USD, or the not less steep 2,199 VRP. By the way, this pack leaves you time enough to race them a bit before the 2022 WTCR season starts. We are not sure if we want to get them or not. On the one hand, these cars are very interesting to drive and enormous fun. On the other hand, we can get 2 Assetto Corsa Competizione DLCs at that price, or kinda. And while Raceroom is an extremely enjoyable sim, the user numbers are dwindling. If you like this video and would like to see more, consider becoming a patron, thus letting us spread our wings. Amongst other perks, it will fix your name for posterity like this. A big thank you to our patrons. If you come here regularly, please consider subscribing. We told you this was going to be big. We told you physics changes would be big. And it's all come as we said. There's a new release candidate waiting the brave who activate the beta build on Steam, and while Reza downplays the importance of it by saying it's just a bit of bug fixing and extending the physics to a wider range of cars, you'll see how important this update is for the physics in a minute. Let's go point by point though, because Reza being Reza, this is again a big drop. They corrected a couple of issues in the championship mode, like incorrect times applied to non-race sessions, incorrect pit windows in custom championships, and some numbering issues. Clutch damage gets repaired anytime engine damage is repaired, and there is no clutch damage anymore if you have auto clutch enabled. Shared memory now includes clutch state and ERS deployment mode, and the calendar for the 2022 Stock Car Pro Series got corrected. The Imola and Galeão track maps in the UI have been updated, the content of the multiplayer browser can be filtered, and the traction control ABS adjustment messages are not displayed when the systems are not available. The onboard sounds of the Porsche Cup cars have been updated, the interior of AI cars of the F-Retro GT3 TE series got the correct sound, and the turbo whine for those cars got louder. Moving to AI changes, the AI will now be more prone to mistakes in qualifying, some names were corrected or added, the AI lines and corridors at Imola got updated, and the AI now performs less well with slicks on wet. Many of the tracks got LOD fixes, rolling starts have been improved at Laguna Seca, the trackside cameras have been improved at all Hockenheim historic tracks, as well as correcting a bunch of minor issues. With regards to vehicles, many of them got dirt maps, some animations were corrected, and the Puma GTB got extensive corrections. Well, you made it till here. Brace yourself, because as long as the list was until now we're getting into the thick of this update, the physics. Let's start with the easy part. Tire carcass and tire treads have been adjusted, updated or corrected in a lot of the cars. Also, the behavior of slicks on wet has been updated. The behavior of air, drag, dirty air and atmospheric wind has been updated, corrected, revised and whatnot. I'd like you to take note that the physics of air fluidity and all of that are a specific branch you can study all by itself at universities. Simulating all of that could be part of a doctor thesis. And maybe it was, what do we know? The Super 8 got a massive overhaul of all the physics, setup, ride height, camber, spring rate, all that and more. As with everything else in this update, follow the link in our description for the details. Dampers and other parts of the suspension got adjusted, remodeled and corrected in the Cadillac DPI. And now we come to the changes that blow our mind. Clutch damage, clutch inertia and clutch heating as well as heat dissipation have been introduced into the sim and are going to play an important part in the whole simulation. We cannot stress enough the importance of this. We already were in awe some time ago that they added the physics of the crankshaft into the simulation. Now detailed parts of the physics of the clutch are going to play an important part too. With drivers changing gears round about 40 times per lap in a race, you can imagine how important the clutch is. Well, the clutch is but only one part of the big changes in the physics. Enter axle physics. Flexible axles have been introduced in many cars with this update. If you don't know what it means, let us help you. In any kind of car, no matter what motor, as long as you have a central engine, the power of the engine has to be transmitted to the tires. On a front-wheel driven car, you only have a front drive axle. On a rear-wheel driven car with a motor at the front, you have a drive shaft and a rear drive axle. Of course, in real life, those pieces are not rigid, but have some level of flexibility. This update means any added power the motor applies when you press the throttle will take a tiny bit longer to reach the tires, but the application of that power will end up being smoother. The drive shaft already had flexibility programmed in it, now that flexibility will also apply to the axles. Bit by bit, update by update, Racer is moving from simulating the engine as a whole, the suspension as a whole, the steering as a whole, and so on, to simulating the pieces one by one and the way the different pieces influence each other. It's moving from just a racing sim to a complete simulation of the physics of a race car. I know this is more something for nerds, which we confess we are, but it blows our minds. Not only that they are deepening what was already there in the Madness engine, but adding to it this way. The level of detail in the simulation of the physics is mind-boggling. That they are able to program that much detail into the whole thing without making Automobilista 2 measurably slower is impressive. If Racer continue this path, as we suppose and expect them to, they are going to dethrone BeamNG as the most detailed physics simulation out there. And again, all this without the need of a supercomputer to do all the calculations. From the information we have and leaving BeamNG at a side, rFactor2 and Automobilista 2 are in a race for the most detailed physics. And again, we all profit from it as the behavior of the cars in the sim comes ever so near to reality. Oh yeah, because of all of that, you may have to reset your setup once again. And if after that big meal of physics you are still hungry for more information, check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.